Pura vida, what's going on? It's your girl Chandie. Welcome back to the Chandie Speaks podcast. I am recording this live from San Jose, Costa Rica. And that was the intro. So here we are. Like I said, I'm still here in Costa Rica. I'm recording this from my hotel. I'm at some Marriott, some City Express Marriott downtown. By the time this episode goes up, I will be well on my way back to United States, and as you can tell from the tone of my voice, I am not too thrilled about it. not too thrilled about it. But I committed to this podcast once a week, so I'm just gonna get this out of the way. It's 8:00 in the morning, Tuesday, March 31st. It's the last day of March. The best month of the year is officially over. Today's the last day, and a little bittersweet. Beautiful month for me personally. You know, my birthday month. I got to spend half of the month in Costa Rica. But, come tomorrow, I will be flying back into reality, and that post-vacation depression is sort of sinking in right now. So this is like the last thing I'm doing before I finish packing my bags. I'm seriously not enthusiastic about it at all, but we're gonna get through it. Okay. So last week I had a guest star on my show, my friend who is also out here on vacation with me, Haven. She's still here, but I'm just deciding to do it by myself. She has been doing a lot of sleeping, and I didn't want to disturb her sleep or, interrupt her own vacation. This is her vacation as well, so I'm just here by myself. This is going to be most likely a Costa Rican themed episode because it's my last full day here in Costa Rica. Bittersweet. Can y'all hear me okay? I don't know. All right, so I think we're just going to go through a quick day-by-day thing. Really quick. I didn't really take that many notes, but yeah. You could just tell. I'm just I'm not looking forward to going back home, but I mean, I kind of am. I miss my dog. I miss my van. I miss receiving income, but it'd be nice if I could just receive the income without having to work. So, in a way, I guess I miss my jobs as well. All right, Costa Rica has been definitely an experience for me personally. Culture shocking to say the least, which I kind of expect anywhere I go that I'll be culture shocked, but I think this time it was a little different because normally I go and travel by myself, with the exception of one vacation. I've gone to every vacation by myself, and this is like the first time where I sort of just sort of planned my vacation around another person's vacation. And if my future self is listening to this, just don't do that. I think that was probably my biggest mistake. Well, one of my biggest mistakes is, just because I have a big heart, a welcoming heart, and I work in the hospitality industry, so I'm used to, giving hospitality service like cooking and meeting someone's accommodations. I'm in the service industry, so it's sort of in my nature to just think about other people. And I'm realizing while I'm out here that not everyone thinks like me. I'm not throwing any shade on my friend. She's literally still here. I'm not throwing any shade on my friend, but if I could go back, I would just be a little bit more selfish, because then maybe I would have been able to do more things. And that's not saying that I didn't do a lot. Sidebar, I have a day-to-day breakdown of my vacation, our vacation here in Costa Rica. Today is day 13. Been here for 13 days, maybe 14 if you include the travel time. So I have day by day video breakdowns of my time in Costa Rica, and I will be dropping day 1. It's going to be titled 𝘗𝙗𝙗𝙯, day 1, Costa Rica. It's going to be on YouTube. If you're not already following me or subscribed to my channel, go ahead and follow me, Chandie Speaks, on YouTube. I will be dropping it at some point within the next 24 hours. I want it to premiere, the day 1, I want it to premiere shortly after this episode premieres on YouTube and Spotify, which will be tomorrow around midnight. So sometime on April 1st, you guys will get the day 1, and I'll figure out my posting schedule from then on after. But I know day 1, I'm planning on premiering basically when I'm off of the island, or it's not even an island, when I'm out of the country, when I'm flying, probably by noon at some point Wednesday, it'll be live on YouTube. But yeah, and you know, when you guys take a look at all those, you can see we did do a lot of stuff. I did do a lot of stuff. There were many times when I had to, you know, do things by myself, which is what I'm used to. And yeah, I think like, yeah, next time I'm just going to remember just to be a little bit more selfish so that I can just focus on me. Not saying that I didn't have a great vacation or that it hasn't been great. It's just in my soul and my nature to think about other people and to empathize with other people. And, you know, she's out here with me, my friend. So a lot of the things that I had planned for us was for both of us. And some of those things I ended up doing by myself or not at all. So that's just me. You know, I'm big on traveling. I'm easily adaptable. I can easily adapt in most environments, in most situations. So it was no big deal for me. But there's just this little part in me, like even right now as I say it, that kind of feels guilty that she may not have experienced the same amount of fun that I have. And, you know, like I said, no shade on my friend, but that's literally not my problem. Okay, so next time, whether I go by myself or not, I say the biggest takeaway so far is just be selfish. Do what you want to do. There are so many things that I want to do. Not so many things. There's just a few things that I just didn't get to do because I was considering her. So that being said, let's go day by day here really quick because I'm just trying to fill in this space, pack my stuff, and enjoy my last 24 hours here. Spotify did a thing where after the first 7 days, so my podcast is uploaded through Spotify for creators. And on the 7th day mark, like after a week of being here, I've been here for 2 weeks. After a week of being here, Spotify basically logged me out of my account and told me that I'm Costa Rican now, that I live here because I've been here for a week. And so they would not let me sign back in. I don't know what's going on with Spotify. Y'all need to fix that shit. Like, people can travel. It's like, what? I'm not allowed to travel for more than a week? Yeah, they're like, yeah, you have to sign in somehow, and it's all in Spanish. Everything has been, like, translated to Spanish automatically. Like, my news feed on Instagram is now giving me, like, Costa Rican advertisements, which is fine. It was all fine until it affected this, like, my day-to-day work. I couldn't log in to my Spotify account because they told me that I don't live in America, that there's different, I don't know, regulations or different posting rules in Costa Rica that I had to agree to or something like that. Still haven't agreed to it. I just found a loophole and found a way to log in, but there may be a chance, possibly, that I won't be able to even log back into my Spotify account until I get back to America, which is crazy. I think Spotify, you guys need to fix that. Like, people can go on vacation. Yeah, so that happened. So we landed March 18th around like 9 o'clock at night. I think, yeah, another highlight of this trip was landing in San Jose last Wednesday. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and up until the time when I landed in Costa Rica, I did have a ride arranged for us. Granted, that ride was going deep, deep into the jungle, and we ended up coming back anyway. Go ahead and reference the last episode if you want more. But one of the highlights from landing at San Jose was coming across a local man by the name of Dember. I'm pretty sure his mom meant to call him Denver, like Denver, Colorado, but it's spelled with an M, not an N. So it's Dember. But either way, I know I gave him a shout out in my last episode, but I want to give him another shout out because the sound quality is a little better in this episode. Denver's airport service. He was, bless his heart, young man, very persistent, non-aggressive, very kind, and he basically has been our tour guide this whole time. Not really. Like, he's been, anytime I've been able to text him about anything, like, hey, where can I get a good cheeseburger? Where can I go get some souvenirs? Or what do you think about this place or that place? And he's always very kind, very responsive. And he runs a rental car service, I believe, and he drives a cab. Very knowledgeable about the country, very polite. So, yeah. Any of my friends who tell me that they're going to go and visit Costa Rica, Denver's airport service is your guy. I will possibly link his information in the description, but you can also look it up on Google Maps. But yeah, we met that kid at the sweet guy. We met that guy at the airport, and yeah, he's just been like our little positive, conscious, positive guide in the background for like the last 2 weeks. Bless his heart, bless his family. But we decided to opt out of his hospitality and go with this random guy that I found on Facebook. And you know what? It's my last day here, so I'm gonna just keep it real. That guy, do I want to give his name? I'm gonna give his first name because I'm sure there's multiple people with the same name. I don't know his last name, but I'm not gonna throw him completely under the bus by giving his last name. Alejandro. Bro, I really feel like we broke that kid. We broke him. He's probably like, I'm never picking up Americans ever again because, yeah, I sent him the address like weeks ago before I even got here. We had already confirmed like the pickup time, the pickup location, the drop off and all that. Granted, I didn't have an exact address, but he can kindly get a generalized idea that it was deep in the jungle, and he decided to do it anyway, even though he had an electric car and apparently no balls. Like, the guy was about to cry. He was like, I'm like, it's just a car ride, bro. It's just a dirt road. Dirt roads were freaking him out. You can tell that he was like praying for his life. Granted, like, it was late and he was driving down dirt roads with no lights and no signs in his electric car, not knowing exactly where he was going. We were just given coordinates. We weren't even given like a real address. It was just weird all around. And Alejandro was our first sort of local experience here, and I have not seen him since. I have not seen him since that first day. I've asked him for rides, to take us to the beach, and he's just too busy or doesn't give a shit. I don't know. Respectfully, bless his heart. But yeah, I'm just gonna advise against that for my future self. I was trying to save money and save time, and I thought it would be a good idea to reach out to a local person in the Facebook group. I was in the Costa Rican Facebook group, and I reached out to this guy. He responded right away. He was literally all smiles up until we crossed over into the jungle. Now he's like damn near sweating. Like, I kind of feel bad for him, but at the same time, it's like, bro, grow a pair, please. Like, how am I was in Costa Rica for like 3 hours, and this guy has been here most of his life, all of his life, and he's like breaking down because he's lost and his car doesn't hold a charge or whatever. Like, you could have planned for this. You probably shouldn't offer rides to people from San Jose to 𝘗𝗵𝗀, which is like a 5-hour drive, when you have an electric car and their flight is coming in late and there's no lights. That was just poor planning on everyone's part, but more so his, because he's from here. Just saying. But anyway, we got to the Airbnb, and like I said, it's my last day, so I'm going to just keep it real. I personally did not have a problem with the Airbnb. Me personally, if it were me by myself, I probably would have stayed there. My plan when I came out here was to go skydiving in 𝘗𝗵𝗀. So, hola. My plan when I came here was to go skydiving in 𝘗𝗵𝗀, which I did not do. Because we were just so far away. If I came by myself, I probably would have stayed out there. And then gone skydiving like I had planned. The skydiving was sort of out of the plans even before we landed because it was pretty expensive. In all fairness, it costs like $500 to go skydiving here. And I've been skydiving in Colorado before, and it was like $200. And it came with like a video. Shout out to the skydive place somewhere in North Colorado. But yeah, $500 was pretty steep for me. But I was willing to make, some kind of exception because I'm on vacation. And how often are you going to go skydiving in Costa Rica? So yeah, if it was just me by myself, I probably would have done that. Just stayed there, gone skydiving, and just, do what I do. I'm not going to lie and say that it wasn't a good move. It was definitely, a good move for us to go to a more centralized location in Alajuela because, you can go that way or that way. It's easier to get to other places in the country when you're in a more centralized location. So I get that. However, I didn't really need that. I was, at least how I feel right now, I feel like I was mostly trying to accommodate my friend. So yeah, these are all just learning experiences. I personally did not have a problem. The only problem I had with the B&B, like if I were by myself, would be just the lack of responsiveness, or the lack of communication from the host themselves. I don't remember their name. I'm not going to put them on blast. They did tell me, but it was in Spanish, and there was just a little communication block between myself and the host. And then, of course, Alejandro's scary ass getting terrified just driving there. Like, if he were more confident driving to that jungle house and it was just me by myself and the host was, I don't know, at least bilingual, he didn't seem like he even knew a lick of English, then I probably would have just stayed out there if I was by myself. But it all worked out for the best. Obviously it was a good move. I had a wonderful vacation. You guys, please watch out for those videos. They will be dropping on YouTube. It's a day-by-day breakdown. Some videos will have 2 days in it because, some days we didn't do as much. But they're going to be like 30-minute videos up on YouTube of just like a consolidation of that day. So yeah, right now I'm sitting in the meeting room, the conference room in the City Express Marriott in San Jose. I want to give a shout out to my boss in Sedona, who has been in the hospitality hotel industry for at least 40 years, and they were kind enough to hook me up with a nice spot. Like, if this was, like I said, it's different going on vacation with other people, and I'm realizing that now. That's one thing I've learned for sure while I've been out here, is that, like, I just like being alone. I really do. I'd really like it if people can go with me, and that's probably why I invited her or anyone. Whenever I go out of the country, I invite someone, and no one ever agrees. And I was actually surprised. I'm blessed and grateful that I was out here with a friend. However, I could have very well done this all by myself. In fact, most times I prefer it because it's just a different vibe. Yeah. Okay, so we left the jungle. We came back to Alajuela. after I booked another B&B. You guys know most of that story. And we've basically just been out and about. I'd say if it wasn't for just my street smarts, like I said, I'm very adaptable. I have a good head on my shoulders, so I'm able to survive in most, if not all, situations by myself. But when you factor in like another person, it's almost as if like I can't help but to care about them as well. And I realized that not everyone feels the same way, or not everyone operates the same way. Some people are just inherently selfish. Whereas me, it's like I have to learn how to be selfish. And that could be my childhood trauma speaking. That could be, whatever kind of abuse I went through as a child that makes me just selfless. And, there's a time and a place for it, apparently. I gotta think about myself. Okay, I don't really have a much to talk about except for what's been going on here in Costa Rica. Just sort of venting. If anything, this is like me venting, kind of, and this is therapeutic for me, so this may be a boring episode altogether, but I don't care. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Go follow me, Chandie Speaks, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all that jazz. So yesterday was, in my opinion, a highlight. It wasn't the best day, but it was definitely a highlight. And I'm really grateful for the time that I got to spend here with the local people. See, when I go anywhere, when I travel, I like spending time with the local people. I like being in the streets, fam. You feel me? Like, I like walking, okay? And it's not because I'm a cheap ass and I don't like paying for taxis. I will pay for a taxi. But if I could help it, if it's in walking distance, I'd rather walk there. And that's how I am back home, too. I drive a big-ass van, and it's just a pain in the ass to start it up, to drive, to turn the corners, and wait for people and stuff. Sometimes it's a whole lot faster, just back home with my big-ass van, to just walk there and be around the people. Granted, at home, I'm less likely to start a conversation with a stranger. Like, I'll walk with my headphones on. And I've walked out here with my headphones on too, but I'm more likely to not, like when I'm on vacation by myself, I'm more likely to just be in the culture. That's my goal. I didn't come on vacation so that I can do the same stuff that I did in America back home, right? I came on vacation mostly so that I can, not have to work and relax, not have to take care of anything, my bills or my dog or anything, but also, most importantly, to experience the culture. And typically when I go places, like I'm immersed into the culture, and this time I feel like I was immersed in the culture, but it wasn't as much as I wanted it to be because I was traveling with another friend. Again, this is not a shade episode on my friend. I doubt she'll listen to it anyway, but I'm just trying to keep it real. Had I been by myself, or had my friend was on the same I want to be immersed in the culture type deal, we probably would have experienced a little bit more. And that's not taking away from everything we did. That's just who I am. And I get it. This is my first time sort of considering other people's experiences as well. Like I said, it's her vacation as well. Her birthday was yesterday. My birthday was a week before that. We had both of our birthdays out here a week apart from each other. And I also understand that, not everyone wants to be immersed in the culture. Some people, when they go on vacation, they just want to sit on a boat or sit in a resort and sunbathe and read or, be to themselves. And I'm literally the opposite of that. Even in the United States, you'll rarely find me just sitting down doing nothing. There's got to be something. I'm at least doing something. So, yeah, when I come here, and I want to be with the culture and with the people of Costa Rica. But, you know, I'm accompanied with a friend who is just here doing her own vacation, which doesn't involve getting too immersed in the culture. It's kind of it's conflicting interests is all I'm trying to say. So, yeah, next time for sure, I'm just going to be more selfish. I'm just going to just do what I want to do, regardless if it makes someone else feel. And that's kind of what I've been just doing, you know. There's some things that I didn't get to do. Like, for example, I really wanted to go to the History Museum. It's Tuesday. There's still fucking time. I can still probably go. But every time I go out of the country and I visit another, you know, culture, that's like one of the things I do. I go to the History Museum and I go to the Art Museum. Call me a nerd, call me boring, but I like learning about where I am. That's just what I do. I couldn't imagine just going to a whole new country and seeing all these different customs and how they live their life, and then just going somewhere on a beach and pretending like this reality doesn't exist. It's their reality as well, you know. So yeah, I wanted to go to the museum. There's still time. It's Tuesday. I still might. It's free too, but I am running out of money. So hopefully I can find something in walking distance. I like walking, you know. We rented a car out here, and we paid $80 a day. So far we've had it a total of 4 days. We had it 2 days last week for my birthday and 2 days this week for her birthday. And of all 4 of those days, I probably did like 8 to 10 minutes at the most of driving, physical driving. And there's a couple factors. It's not so much because it's a new country, because they drive on the same side as America. And it's also not so much that it's a new car. It's more so what I'm seeing and realizing right now is like, I don't like driving at home. I live in a van. My life is driving. I don't want to go on vacation and drive. That's just me. I know in places like Costa Rica, it's highly recommended. In fact, if I were to come back to Costa Rica, I would most likely rent a car. Even if I came by myself, I would most likely rent a car just so that I can get around. Like, I understand the practicality of it all, but I would prefer to just walk. In fact, take the bus. Public transportation has been something that I really wanted to do out here that I didn't get to do. Mostly because everything was either in walking distance or we had the car that day. But yeah, even if it is in walking distance, or if I have the car, taking the public transportation in another country is like something that I like doing. And mentioning that to people who are not used to being around the culture, even in their own home, like, it may sound like a disgusting idea. Like, tell someone you're going on a vacation with them and then say, hey, we're going to go take the public bus. And yeah, there's two kinds of people. There's people who will be like, oh, hell yeah, let's take the bus. I want to see what the bus is like out here. And then there's other people who are just like, ew. So I'm also noticing there's like, you know, there's a difference in just who we are, you know. Me and my friend, you know, she's, bless her heart, she's a nurse. She makes decent money. She was able to book this flight like in January, you know, no shade. She works very hard for her money, and she definitely deserved this vacation. But on the other side of the spectrum, there's someone like me who's like, I don't make that much money. I had to plan this trip last year. I was coming back from Guyana in March, April, and as soon as I got back, I was trying to get to Costa Rica. So almost for like 8 months, I was mentally, spiritually, and physically planning for this trip. So it hits different for me, and I get that, you know. And I was thinking, like, maybe that's what's affecting just the quality of our time out here. It's just because even back home, we come from different tax brackets. Let's just say that. You know, I'm not the kind of person to go and buy food at an airport, you know, and she is. and more power to you. But maybe that could just be the poorness in me, or the practicality in me that's just like, yo, I'm gonna bring my own food to the airport. You know what I mean? Or I'm not gonna spend $10 on a sandwich at an airport. But some people do. Many people do. So there's that. I think that's just also funny. I think I was sitting next to this lady on the plane who, I don't know if she brought it from home or she bought it from the airport, but some people be getting on flights with bags of like groceries worth of food just for the flight. And it's just so weird to me. I'm like, really? You can't just like, the flight was 3 hours. Okay, 4. And like I said, maybe it's just the different income levels that's making me feel like, hey, that's kind of being wasteful, or that's unnecessary. Whereas they're probably, I don't know. I never understood people who spend hundreds of dollars just on food in the airport, or people who bring so much food on the plane. I don't know. Like I said, it's just probably just differences in our lifestyle. And that's cool. That's not going to be me, though. I'd rather spend my money on something else. Like, for the first couple days here, I cooked breakfast, lunch, dinner. I cooked every day for like the first 5 days. Just because I do love cooking. I'm in the service industry, and I've always just enjoyed the look on people's face when they taste my food. So it's comforting for me. I love cooking for other people. And I remember I did that for like 5 days straight. But then I noticed, like, after like 5 days or so, that they're living out their reality, my friend, living out their reality of, well, people cook for me. There are people who are givers, and there's people who are takers or receivers. And let's just say that my friend is probably used to receiving and taking more than giving, because I didn't get anybody to cook for me. Granted, it's her vacation, but it's just a nice gesture. Like, even if I'm on vacation, I still want people to feel at home. I still want people to feel comfortable. So that's just in me. I woke up every day and I cooked. And then after a few days, I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm just gonna worry about myself. And I spent, near the second half of the trip here in Costa Rica, I spent a lot of money on groceries just because I didn't want to cook anymore. And no one's going to cook for me. But typically, I prefer to not spend so much money on food, on eating out. Like in Guyana, I cooked every single meal. I was there by myself. I cooked every meal. I ate out in Guyana 2 times. 2 times. One of those times I was out with a group of friends, and the other time I was just really fucking tired. I just got a fucking cheeseburger. But all 14 days, I cooked for myself. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. That's just who I am. Maybe because I'm a cheap ass and I don't like spending money. But that's just who I am. What else did I want to talk about? Yesterday was a lovely day. We went to Jaco Beach. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's spelled Jaco. Jaco Beach. It was very lovely out there. Very touristy on that side. Not as touristy as La Fortuna, in my opinion, but still touristy nonetheless, because there's beaches over there. Resorts, casinos, your typical beach style resort area. And keeping it on me, I believe I had a great time. It was my friend's birthday, so I wanted her to take the reins on the day. I wanted her to choose what we did and where we go. At this point, yesterday, my vacation is nearly complete. I've done like most things that I wanted to do. Like 90% of the things that I wanted to do were basically done by yesterday. So I just sat back and was like, hey, wherever you want to go, let's do it. Let's go. So she wanted to do a beach day, so we went up to the beach. And I'm just going to speak on my personal experience, because I really don't know how she feels about it. you know. Again, I'm not throwing any shade on my friend. I'm sorry if you take this the wrong way if you're listening, but it just sort of it felt like nothing was good enough for you. And that's probably, you know, just our backgrounds, our different backgrounds speaking. You know, she's a nurse. She makes great money. So her idea of a good time may be completely different from my idea of a good time. You know, her idea of a good time would involve going to Starbucks. And my idea of a good time would be walking on the beach. Maybe that's good for her too, but it just didn't seem like it. I had a great time. As soon as I walked up on the beach, this lady was giving out massages on the beach. This sounds like a movie. It's not a movie. This actually happened, okay? Costa Rica is a real place, and it's fucking beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, the whole country. And this is something you only hear about in movies, but I walked up into this beach, not knowing anything, just taking it all in, like, wow, this is the beach. We were on the Pacific coast, and she was like, hey, do you want a massage? And I was like, do I want a massage? I've been trying to get a massage for a week. I've been trying to coordinate with my friend so that we can both go and get a massage, but something always happens where she's too tired, or she's asleep, or not in the mood, or they're closed, or whatever. I've been trying to coordinate something for both of us when really I should have just been looking out for myself. And that's what I did yesterday. She was like, do you want a massage? Do I want a massage? Lady, she gave me a full body deep tissue massage on the fucking beach. And the sun was like shining. It was so glorious. It was absolutely beautiful. I'm not saying it's the best massage I ever had, but it's goddamn the best massage that I ever had on the beach. The only massage I've ever had on the beach. It felt like so just surreal, like it was a movie. Full body massage, right? And I'm like laying down, and I'm thinking like, hey, you go on a trip with somebody. So I'm me by myself. I'm used to taking all my own pictures, or asking strangers to take pictures of me. But I feel like if you go on vacation with a friend, like it's just sort of an unspoken rule that like, yeah, you should take pictures of your friend if she can't take pictures of herself. And yeah, I was getting a massage and my friend was like completely not impressed or enthused, looking in her phone. I was like, can you take a picture of me? She took one picture. I'm sure I haven't received it. I don't even think she actually took it or sent it to me, but it happened. There's no physical photo proof that I have as of right now, but man, it felt so amazing just to get a full body massage. Like I was damn near naked. She took off my bikini top, and I'm just like laying there, and she was just massaging me, and I just looked out on the ocean and the mountains and the trees. It was absolutely special. So special. Probably the highlight of yesterday. And it wasn't even my birthday. It was her birthday, but probably the highlight of yesterday was, yeah, that lady, I forgot her name, Julie. Shout out to Julie from, oh my God. It's some fucking Southern American country. Shout out to them. She gave me a massage. Beautiful. It would cost $80 US. I tipped her, even though I'm super poor and I couldn't afford to tip her, but I tipped her. And I got to fly my drone. I'm going to throw in some drone clips of Jaco Beach, probably in this episode or whenever I get to it. But yeah, beautiful. And the sunset, and then as the sun was about to go down, I'm having the time of my life. At this point, I'm just like, I'm only going to worry about my happiness, because that's the only person that matters. Like, no one else is going to worry about my happiness more than me. So, there's a part of me and my soul that's like, hey, I want you to have a good experience too. I want you to enjoy your birthday. I want you to make this memorable for yourself. But at the same time, we grown as hell. Okay. You are responsible for your own feelings. I'm responsible for my own feelings. And I'd be damned if I spent money and time to get all the way here just so that I can make sure someone else had a good time. So, respectfully, I just ignored her resting bitch face, basically, and let her be in her own little funk. And This guy walked up with a coconut. I have a video of it. He fucking used a machete to cut off the top of my coconut. He's like, you want a coconut? I was like, hell yeah, I want a fucking coconut. Put a straw in there. And he's like, you want some rum? And he poured some rum into my coconut. Like, I'm like, is this a movie? This is real. So beautiful. So there I am, getting full deep tissue massage by some Costa Rican. She's not Costa Rican. I think she's from Peru. She's either from Peru or Panama, something with a P. And then when I'm done, I get to walk on the beach, watch the sunset with my drone, and fucking get a fresh coconut with rum, Costa Rican rum in it. It was a beautiful day. Yesterday was definitely a highlight of the trip. Wasn't the best day, but it was definitely a highlight of the entire trip for me personally, and I had a great time. So, yeah, I think that's basically the theme of this episode. It sounds like I'm talking smack about my friend, but I really am not. I'm just keeping it real. And these are the things that I would love to say in front of her or anyone else. But at the same time, I don't care. I don't care if how I feel is expressed or received in a way that I want it to be received from anybody. You can just take it or leave it. This is just my podcast, and I'm just speaking my mind. Been talking for 40 minutes. Some other highlights. I got a tattoo. I got my passport stamp from Costa Rica tattooed on me, which is my first international tattoo. That was definitely a highlight of the trip. Definitely a highlight of the trip for me, getting tattooed. And it's already healed. I got it like a couple days after my birthday, and yeah, it's already fully healed. It'll be fully healed by the time I land. So I'm trying to think of some other highlights, because it kind of seems like I've been going down in a little dark hole. I mean, it's kind of hard, man. There's something about this trip. Okay, there's one thing I know for sure. I know that I'm not gay, and I'm not a lesbian. Because this is like the most time that I've spent one-on-one with a woman, and I'm like, I can't do this. And it's just like me. I can't read your brain. I can't cater to your needs, even though you don't tell me that you need anything. You tell me everything is fine, but it kind of feels like everything is not fine. You know, that's totally women. Women do that shit all the fucking time. Oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. Really? Then why are you sitting in this dark room by yourself with the lights off and you haven't eaten? Why are you... There's like no light in your eyes. There's why do you look like you're sad, but everything is fine? That's a woman. And I'm like, I cannot imagine being gay or lesbian at all. And I'm not trying to take the men off the hook either. I whatever the word is for someone who's just not attracted to any of this bullshit. Like, I don't think I could be with a man either for an extended period of time. I really prefer being by myself, because, okay, with men, it's like, now I feel like I'm performing. Like, I have to make sure that I'm smiling and I look good and I'm happy, because a man's going to come and be like, oh, why aren't you smiling? Don't you hate that? I'm just like, shut the fuck up. I don't need to smile for anybody. Okay, that's one side. And then the other side is like, God, I don't know. Why do you look so sad? I don't know. I'm definitely not. I'm not cut out for relationships. Oh yeah, I'm just going to throw this in there just because I'm venting at this point. This is therapeutic. Friend was totally fighting with their boyfriend the whole fucking time we were out here. Totally kills the vibe. Totally kills the vibe. Pro tip, if you travel with someone, make sure that they are, at the very least, if they're in a relationship, at least make sure that the relationship that they're in, that they feel secure with their relationship when they're away from their partner, because that is so annoying. So annoying. Enjoying my own vacation, waking up, hearing someone else who's also on vacation yelling with their significant other who's in a whole nother country thousands of miles away for being on vacation. It's just drama. I don't like it. I'm sorry. And I don't care if you're listening to this and you feel offended, because that was kind of shit. And they're like, the woman side of me wants to care and wants to reach in, But my masculine side is saying, I don't need any of this. I need to go and do my own thing, because then I'm going to get sucked into this shit. Don't you hate that? It's not even just this time particularly, but even back home, like, I don't have any friends who are in physically or verbally abusive relationships, or, you know, put their business out there like that. Like, I don't entertain it at all. They'll try and come and be like, hey, what do you think about this? And I'm like, I don't think about any of that bullshit. It doesn't make sense to me. If I'm in a relationship and there's some kind of disagreement or something that we can't see eye to eye on, then that's just it. We just don't see eye to eye on it. Why entertain something? I don't miss being in relationships for that reason, because it's like everyone's always performing for something all the time, because it seems like it's just laced in insecurity. I know I'm going off on a tangent right now, but I'm just recalling all my relationships where, for example, my ex-husband, we would be together, just be me and him, and we would be fighting, right? Like arguing, not like physical fighting, but like arguing early in the morning or whatever, completely going ham, like yelling at each other. And then the minute like someone else walks in who's not in the relationship, someone just walks in, we just go back to pretending that we were not just arguing. Everyone does that, and it's like crazy. So now I'm crazy if I continue the argument in front of someone who has no business in the conversation. And I'm also crazy if I just pretend that we weren't just arguing. You know what I mean? So it seems like it's just excessive. It's just work. Just talking about it right now makes me exhausted. Relationships are work, and I do not like working. I don't care if you're paying me or not. I just prefer not to work. So, yeah, pro tip for future version of myself: either just go by yourself, or I don't know. It's hard to tell, because I don't know. People, you never know someone until you live with them, right? So basically, I've been living with my friend for a couple weeks now, and yeah, the best takeaway I can get right now, without coming too down on the whole situation, bless her heart, it's just like I don't want a relationship with a man or a woman. All of it seems like unnecessary drama. Blessings, and you know, more power to everybody who can work through all that stuff. But I think I'm just way above all of that. I'm above all of it. I can't. But yeah, I'm very empathetic. This is something I've been sort of learning while living with another person for 2 weeks. Is like I know that I'm empathetic because I feel the shift in energy immediately. And a part of me feels, and this is probably maybe a little ego talking, but a part of me feels that maybe my energy just might be too much for people, to where they either come at me like they're pissed off that my energy is too real, or they avoid me altogether because they can't match it. They can't keep up. And I'm willing to bet that most people who I come into contact with are the latter. Most people just simply can't even match my energy. And that's fine. I'd rather you just stay away from me and not match my energy than to come at me with your energy, because it's not going to beat my energy. You know what I mean? I'm a calm force. I don't get angry. I don't fucking get all malicious or anything. But I just know that my energy is so real that it really repels bullshit. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm learning that it's not me. It's usually other people who have to deal with their own shit. Because y'all hear me come on here all the time talking about my traumas, my triggers, my mommy issues, my daddy issues. I'm well aware, and I'm fully capable of making whatever changes I need to my life. And I hold everyone to that same standard, and it scares people. Like, I can do it. You can do it too. But if you're not choosing to do it, don't come over here with any of your bullshit, because I'm doing my work. I'm always doing my work. I think this has just been a bitchy episode, right? I mean, I don't really have much other than that. It's just like it's obviously you guys know I've been needing to vent. I come on here by myself every fucking week, and that the show will always go on for me. And I hold everyone to the same standard. If you can't take responsibility or accountability for your actions, thoughts, beliefs, feelings, then that's fine. Just you probably won't even be able to see me. You probably couldn't even see me if you can't do that for yourself. So I think that was basically the big takeaway, is that I know that I'm healing. Don't you like that? When you know that you're healing because you're around people who clearly have a lot more healing to do. No shade. Everyone's on their own journey. But I know that I'm on the right path. Even though, I'm about to go back to the States, broke as hell, working 2 jobs, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. But I know this time, next year, I'm going to get another passport stamp, with or without anybody here. I do my work. I take accountability for my actions, my beliefs, my feelings. If I'm wrong, I accept that I'm wrong. I make the correct changes. I redirect my energy. I open up my heart. I'm kind. I'm a loving person. I know that I have a lot to bring this world, and many people do. Hell, everyone probably has something to offer the world, whether it be good or bad. But I know I have a positive impact on the people and around me and everywhere that I go. I just know it. It's just who I am. I'm not even trying. So I just pray that it just rubs off on people, that the light, blinds out the darkness. Well, we all know how the story ends. The good always wins in the end. We all know how that ends. So, are there any more highlights before I get out of here? I'm almost at my hour mark, you guys. Thanks for listening to me. I don't see a therapist, so this is kind of therapy for me. So if you empathize and you've been listening this whole time, whether it makes sense to you or not, I just thank you for listening. Please follow me so Spotify knows that that people are listening. I know you're listening, but if you press the follow button, Spotify knows that you like my content, and it helps me. I don't think I have any more notes this week. I have to return this car soon, and I got some souvenirs, so I might have to go get another fucking bag to check, because I just don't have enough space. I have a things left to do list. Oh my god, roller skating highlight. They have a roller skating rink out here in Alajuela, right down the street from our old B&B. I went roller skating. I would totally go tonight, but they are open every day except Tuesday. So last night was my last possible chance to go. So that was just beautiful. I fucking loved it. And they weren't even playing Spanish music. They were playing like old school, 80s, 70s skating music. It was so cool. Please watch out for those videos. I think it was like day 9 or day 10 when I went to the roller skating rink. Such a great time. A couple other highlights. One did on a positive note. I think I gave you guys all the highlights. We got the tattoo highlight, the roller skating rink, the massage on the beach, Jaco Beach. La Fortuna is probably my favorite place out here. Really, every place is just so different. It's so interesting to see like the different like cultures just a few hours away from the capital. Like you go like a few hours to the east, you're going to be in Limon, and that's the Caribbean side, which I really wanted to do but didn't get a chance to do it because my friend does not care. Anyway, I'm just going to stop about that. This is like the only vacation that I've been on where I'm like, God, I kind of have to come back just so I can do what I didn't get to do because I was too worried about making other people's experience memorable and enjoyable. Every other place, it's like, no, I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do, but I felt content this time. I feel like mostly content. That's my driver calling. 1 second. Buenos dias. Hold on, I can't hear you. Hola.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good. So I'm on the way now, but
Okay.
I'm not sure if you are still on the Airbnb or a City Express.
We are at the City Express. Do you want me to send you the location?
No, I know that place. Okay.
It's the yellow Amarillo building.
Yep, yeah, I know that one.
Yay!
So I think I can be there like 20 minutes, something like that.
Okay, está bien.
All right. See you.
See you later. Yeah, your girl's speaking a little Spanish. You know, sí, pero muy poquito. No hables de mí porque sé lo que están hablando. Oh, not really. I don't really know what you're saying, but I gotta get on out here. On that note, that was my driver. Beautiful. Go support Denver's Denver's airport service, airport taxi. Support local businesses wherever you are. If you're, whatever country you are, it's best to support the local businesses. It helps their economy. It helps them feed their families. Book the flight. That's probably the biggest message I want to give to you people. Just book it, and everything else will come down and figure itself out later. Book the flight. I think I'm good on that. That'll be good. I don't really have any other highlights. Roller skating, souvenirs. I'm only bringing souvenirs for people who helped me get to Costa Rica, so that's 3 of you, 3 people. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you guys for listening to me vent, and I will see you next week. Unfortunately, from Sedona, Arizona. Beautiful, beautiful, but this is like the only vacation where I'm like, I'm really not even missing my home. Like, I could literally just stay here as an illegal immigrant, and I'd be fine. My dog will be fine. Do they have ice out here? I don't think they do ice out here. I think I just want to be an illegal immigrant. I'm just not looking forward to working, but that's just life. That's just how it is. If it wasn't for me working, I wouldn't be here telling you how much I didn't like to work. I did not like working, but I did it anyway so that I can do this podcast from Costa Rica, and I'm so blessed and I'm so grateful. Didn't get everything that I wanted, but I got everything that I needed, and that's enough. Pura vida.